Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the 6th episode of the Variety Show Podcast. Today's going to be a bit different because we're going to put this one up on YouTube. And as a matter of fact, we're going to put all 5 of the other ones on YouTube as well. We do have some news to report on today. Dick Clark passed away earlier this week. I believe he was around 82 years old. Man, you'll be greatly missed in the broadcasting industry because Dick Clark had a big career. Man, and also in breaking news, Taylor Swift is to maybe playing, I should say, some person by the name of Jonah Mitchell. I have no idea what that is, so that's all I have on that. What we're going to be discussing today is microphone placement and proper equipment for the broadcaster and voiceover artist. Now, a lot of folks might be thinking, well, I should go ashore, because I hear a lot of people say go ashore for music. Well, don't do that, because shore has no articulation. I'm actually moving right now. Okay, I'm moving left to right just to show you guys there's no tone change. Okay, I can even turn my head, and sure, you lost me entirely off axis, but I didn't change tone. Okay, I can turn this microphone around and you won't be able to hear me. But I won't do that. Simply because I've got stuff on my desk right now and I don't want to have to move it. But the microphone I'm using for my voiceovers and my promos is a Heil PR40 from Heil Sound. HeilSound.com. That's HeilSound.com. Go there, check them out. Get the Heil PR40. Now, this is a high-end mic. It's also a fire-end mic. And now what that means is you can't talk up here. And let me see if I can bend. You can't talk down here. You talk into the end of the microphone. Now with this mic, you need a pop filter. If you don't have a pop filter, you're going to have some problems. Okay? If you're running Windows, okay, you're going to have to get a lot more equipment just so your voiceovers and things don't sound all compressed. Okay, I'm not using any compression right now. This microphone's entirely flat. Now, you may be wondering, James, what's flat? Well, flat's just a fancy way of saying there's no EQ. In other words, no equalization, no compression, no nothing. This microphone's entirely flat. There's absolutely nothing being ran. You go ahead and try that with your Shure microphones, your Shure SM57s or F58s. And guess what? When you turn away from the mic axis, you're going to change tone, and you're going to be entirely off the axis. You're not even going to be there. And you're going to have to run a bunch of EQ. Okay, those Shure SM57s and those SM58s, they're decent microphones. I mean, they've been around forever. Okay, they're very durable. You can throw these microphones off a 15-story building. Just ask the folks at Shure headquarters. Now, my question is, why the hell would you want to throw a microphone off of a building? Okay, they're not meant to be thrown off a building, folks. They're not meant to be dropped. They're not meant to be kicked. They're not meant to be run over by a semi-truck. They're meant, folks, to be talked into. They're meant to make an art. They're not meant to try damaging and then breaking them. It never made sense to me. Why would a company want to break their own stuff? What, just to show how adorable they are? Who cares? I mean, yeah, you want something rugged. You want to be able to take something on the road with you, of course. You know, get a carrying case. Like the Heil PR40 has. The Heil PR40 comes with a carrying case, a nice clamp to clamp it on every little stand you got. Be honest with you guys, I've got a stand right here. This came from the Blue Snowball. Okay, the Blue Snowball was a USB microphone. It was a condenser cardioid microphone. Picked up everything, folks. I never had a moment of silence with this. I'm not even using a noise gate right now, guys. There's water running, there's birds chirping, there's people talking. Guys, this mic's not even picking up. There's no noise filtering, no nothing. Okay, the Heil PR40 is the best microphone for voiceover artists if you're really serious about this stuff, and for the broadcasters too. My window's open, of course it's going to pick up slight sounds, okay? But you try that compared to the compared to the Blue Snowball. And for example, let me just show you guys here, there's no reason to try your internal microphones for voiceovers, and here's why. Alright guys, nothing changed. This is not a magic trick here, folks. Okay, listen to all that noise. This is not a magic trick, folks. This is just a different microphone. It's a condenser microphone. It's probably on me because I can walk clear across the room and it sounds like I'm sitting there beside it. Both microphones are at the same exact volume, guys. Both are 100%. Both running the same limiter. That's it. There's absolutely nothing being ran. I mean, I'm not tricking you here. I didn't feel the need to A/B these microphones because if I would have A/B'd these, you wouldn't have got the same result. Okay. Now, you're also hearing the computer sound. This is why you don't want to use the internal microphone on your Mac. And Windows even have worse internal microphones. Okay, Windows have these boxy internal microphones that pick up everything, but they sound like you're muffled and you're like underwater or something. At least this microphone picks up your voice, but the problem is, the problem with this mic is it picks up everything else besides it too. Now watch what happens, folks, when we switch back to the Heil PR40. Again, folks, none of those microphones were A/B'd. Of course, that microphone may have been a bit louder, but if I talked louder, it would have clipped. Okay? I was talking at the same volume. I was trying to be, as quiet as possible, but without, losing the ability to project my vocals. And I think I did that pretty decently, and I think I gave you guys a decent idea. Now, the internal microphones on the Mac they're good for chatting, I guess. I still use this microphone for chatting on Skype. Everybody was blown away. Now, here's the drawback. Or is it? The microphone that I'm using right now is around $350. You're going, holy shit, that's a lot of money. I don't have that kind of dough. You can get it at Amazon for $250. Okay. Then you can call up Musician Friend and say, hey, I got a match price on Amazon for $250. Okay, you just knocked $150 off there. But here's the other deal. If you get another microphone, okay, like your Neumann's or Newman's as I always call them, you're looking at around $1,000 to $2,000 for a microphone that cannot even put out like this does. The Electro Voice RA20s, they're decent microphones, but they put out way too much sensitivity, okay? I mean, you heard how sensitive the internal mic on the Mac was. That'd be a great mic if you were in a soundproof booth and you were standing right above it, okay? Now I'm sitting in a chair. My head was pointing towards the microphone. And I was, talking in the general direction. Well, guess what? I'm doing the same thing right now. And I don't sound half as bad as the microphone, as the internal mic. And you guys probably heard me scratch my head in the external mic here. Watch what happens real quick if I'd switch that and do the same thing on the internal. Welcome back to the worst microphone in history, the internal microphone on the Mac. Now, I scratched my head earlier, and I intentionally left that in the podcast, and I will leave that in the podcast now. And what you're going to hear right now is me scratching my head, and it's 10 times louder. You're also hearing the background noise. Now, those same people were talking on the other microphone. Or, they were talking while I was recording this, and you can't even tell. Okay? This microphone does a great job at picking everything up. Okay, I can pick up this coffee cup and take a swig of it, set it down. Sounds like I broke it. I can do the same thing with the Heil external here, and I'll do the exact same thing. Watch this. Okay, we're gonna do the exact same thing. Here we go. Now you heard the water running earlier, but there you go. You still hear the dog, but again, you're going to, because she's in a sense in front of the microphone. But another thing is my door can't close. But when I put down the coffee cup, it was so much quieter on the internal compared to the external. Now, folks, if you want a cheap replacement to the Heil, you're not going to get it. Okay? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it here. I'm not going to tell you go for the Snowball. I'm not going to tell you go for USB. I'm not going to tell you to go to line. And I'm going to tell you right now, go to XLR, get yourself a preamp, and save money beforehand. Okay, if you want the ultimate best in microphones, you want the PR40. Folks, I've got a nice little setup over here. I've got the Blue Icicle, obviously from Blue. It's a nice little thing here, and you're not even hearing the toilet flush. Okay, folks, you heard the water running in the internal. You're not even hearing that in the external. Okay, but anyway, what you need is a preamp. You need an XLR cable. You need a decent pair of studio headphones you can monitor yourself. I'm a fan of Personas Audio. Okay, I've got the Shure Popper Stopper, obviously from Shure. Okay, you're not gonna pick half this stuff up for free or for low price. Some of this stuff, like the microphone, is the most expensive stuff. The little things, you can get the preamp for 35 bucks, you can get the popper stopper for 10 bucks, you can get the headphones for 50 bucks. The microphone's the most expensive part, 300 bucks. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying, I don't have that kind of money. Fine, save, work, do what you gotta do. But if you wanna do voiceovers or you wanna do radio, you need this microphone, folks. I'm telling you, I've had experiences with both microphones, I'm probably one of the only people that have had experience with all three kinds of microphones that I'm going to mention here. Line-in, USB, and XLR mics. Okay? Condensers and dynamics. I've had four USB microphones. I had 4 USB microphones. I'm not using a single one of them today. I had 2 line-in microphones. I'm not using a single one of them today. I had this XLR running microphone. I'm still using it, aren't I? Yeah. Now, why is that? Because how many other microphones do you know that you can get entirely balanced sound un-EQ'd? The microphone straight out of the box is balanced, folks. It's balanced. It's balanced. There's no other way to put it. Well, I don't want to keep dragging this on because we do have other things and people do have other things to do than just listen to me rant and rave about microphones and all this kind of stuff. But one real quick thing, guys. Last time I made the point of giving my webpage. I did it wrong. It's not jamesradioguy@tumblr.com. It's not an email address. It's jamesradioguy.tumblr.com. So check out my webpage. Go to jamestheradioguy.tumblr.com. And I hope to see you guys again here next time. Give me feedback on the podcast. And again, this will be put up on YouTube. Yeah, so guys, check that out. You can go to my webpage, jamesradioguy.tumblr.com. But my YouTube page will be there. But today's going to be slightly different. We're going to be taken out by a song that was actually recorded on the Heil PR31BW, not the Heil PR40. If you're a musician, this next microphone you're going to hear, you're going to love it, guys. So here's a musician coming up in the ranks. Here's Timothy Clark with his track God of Love, recorded on the Heil PR31BW. Only on the Variety Show podcast. This is making its debut. Enjoy, guys.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Well, I once was lost, but now I'm found. And I was blind, but now I see. It was grace that taught my heart to fear and then taught it to believe. Well, how precious did that grace above send his son to die just to spread his love. And I thank God that my God is a God of love. Oh, he is a God of love. And where would we be if there wasn't a God above? And where would we be if he wasn't a God of love? Now where would we be if he wasn't a God of love? And where would we be if there wasn't a God above? Oh, he is a God of love. Well, it was grace that taught my heart. It taught my heart to love. And now that I'm saved, I feel as if I'm free, 'cause I know that my God is a one God above. And I know that my God, I know that my God is a God of love. Now where would we be if there wasn't a God above? And where would we be if he wasn't a God of love?
John verse 3:16 says, God loved the world so that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. He is the one true God, the one God that's above.
He is a God of love. And where would we be if there wasn't a God above? And where would we be if he wasn't a God of love?